Welcome back. I'm talking with Tim Cox, who is the author of Revolution, A New Plan for Selecting Representatives. He is also the founder of GOOH, which stands for Get Out of Our House, and he has a plan to replace the 435 members of the House of Representatives in our Congress and replace them with patriots who, when they put their right hand up and take an oath of office to uphold the Constitution, are willing to do just exactly that. We talked about the process, Tim, and how people will meet in smaller groups and people will bubble up until you get your 435 candidates, and how that will all be funded. One of the things that you said today that really impressed me is you didn't ask for any money.
Yeah, I've been blessed all my life from a work perspective to be in the right place at the right time and have put away enough money where my wife and I could fund this. We've created this system. We don't want or need money at this point. In fact, we tell people not to send it until we get to the 500,000 people. Once we get to that point, we know that we have critical mass in membership. Then we'll ask people, if you're serious about going forward, let's move forward. Right? If we can't get to 500,000 people across the nation, that's less than 1/5 of 1% of the population, we're not going to run in any district, because we don't want to go and disrupt the race and steal 10% here or 10% there. But once we get to 500,000, and once we start aggressively marketing GOOH, that number will go to 5 million, maybe even 50 million, and we'll have more money than we ever need to go and run our national campaign against the career politicians. And we're not going to get into this mudslinging and all of that in the campaign, right? Our process and our advertisements will be very simple, right? It's back to that, America, do you want to continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results, right? Albert Einstein's definition of insanity. And if you do, maybe we're insane, right? Or do you want to vote for the GOOH party candidate, right, and back to the list, documented their views, chosen by their peers, no special interest money, no party affiliation, not career politicians, and willing to be held accountable? The people of America will overwhelmingly vote for us.
I'm sure you're probably being accused of being too idealistic. I just want you to know that it's refreshing from this point of view to hear people who speak of integrity, accountability, and wanting some principles back in what people are doing.
Yeah, so yeah, it's real interesting, right? It's just part of who we are. Everything I've done in my life, I've been told this will never happen. Everything, right? So when I went to college, kind of the stuff that that I did and kind of the grades I was able to make, and I got out on time, right? I paid my own way through school. I worked for Texas Instruments on one of the coolest spy satellite systems ever, right? I was one of the guys that helped create the first credit card reader in the gas pump system. I had the good fortune to work indirectly for Michael Dell, right? A guy that revolutionized the way we buy and sell computers, right? And I've just been in the right place at the right time, and everywhere we go, we've been told, you can't do this.
You know, I was going to ask you that, because my dad always told me, you can do whatever you put your mind to. And the different things that I've done in my life, some of the most well-meaning, closest friends would say, oh, that won't ever work, or you'll never be able to do it. And if I set my mind to it, I went ahead and it happened, And I like to believe that I was led to that place, and that was what I was supposed to be doing.
Yep.
And I believe you feel like you're kind of called to do it.
I have no question that this is my calling, this is my purpose in life. We don't have time to kind of recount 2005 and everything that kind of happened to me and led me up to that flippant challenge for my son. But yeah, I think everything happens for a reason. I don't mind it when people tells me, oh, you're too idealistic, this can't happen. Those are the 95% of the people that they're usually negative on everything.
And what a great thing to be accused of.
Yeah. So
okay, well, let's talk a little bit about ballot access. You're not targeting any states, and you're not affiliated with any parties. You're really running a campaign of principle, looking for principle people who are willing to serve. And at this point, you're actually talking about people who are serving, not people who are looking for power or position, but who understand that it's a sacred duty and a responsibility. It's kind of a burden, if you will, but they're willing to pick up the yoke and carry it for a while. So how do you get, it's one thing to have people who are willing to do that. It's going to be tough enough, I think, to find them, but I think they'll come, like you used the Field of Dreams analogy. Right. But how do you get them access to the ballot?
So what we'll do, and again, this is once we get to that 500,000 point trigger, right? Then what we'll do is we'll ask every member to download a petition for their state. We'll have all 50 of them up there, get them to sign it, and say, go walk your neighborhood, go to your work, get as many signatures as you can over the next 10 days, send it back to, and we'll have a person in each state that's responsible for collecting all of the signatures that are needed. Right? We'll have somebody in Idaho, somebody in Oklahoma, somebody in Florida, and every other state. They'll have the signatures. We'll take that $50 million or more that we raise, and we're going to need about $8 million to go pay the fees to get this Go Party on the ballot. Now, I don't think we'll really be called the Go Party at that point, maybe so, but we'll let the members name us. Maybe we're the Freedom Party or the Liberty Party or the Constitution. I don't know. That will be up to the members, but we'll go get Go on the ballot in all 50 states. There's a few states that are problematic, right? North Carolina, Philadelphia, I think Georgia. There's a couple that have some really odd and bizarre rules. But what we'll do is we'll do everything we can to get on the ballot. If we cannot get on the ballot, we actually have a plan B, C, D, and E to proceed. Now, it would take a lot of time to talk about those, but we've thought this through, right? This is not just some flippant, oh, yeah, let's go get everybody together and run
cool
forward.
Type thing,
and I love the people that are going to underestimate us and think, oh, yeah, this guy or these guys don't know what they're talking about. We know exactly what we're doing, and we know exactly how to move this forward. All we need are patriots like you, right, and the listeners, followers of this show to get involved, to get that number to 500,000 and to move us forward, right? We don't want much, right? We want people to go to the website, become a member, and it takes nothing more than an email address, communicate to their friends, family, their network. Hey, this is pretty cool. Let's go check this out. Let's move this forward. Let's get to 500,000, and let's create competition. Once we're to 500,000, then and only then do you have to decide, do I want to put money in and move this forward?
Well, and even if they don't want to run, I've been there, done that, and I feel that I've done my duty, and I'm very grateful for having had the opportunity. I would like to have somebody else have that opportunity too, because I think more people really need to experience that. I think they'll have more ownership in their country. There's always something that they can do.
Yeah, and we want every person in America to participate, right? Most of us would have no interest in ever going to Washington to serve, but we want you to participate and help choose your representative, right? So you can sit down, you think about it, go to the website, answer the questionnaire. It might take you 2 or 3 hours to go through, get everything together. Once we get to 500,000 people, you put $100 in, you show up that first Saturday morning, and you choose Allan or Mary or Joe, right, or whoever, and say, that's who I want to represent me. You're done.
There you go. So if people want more information, they can go to GOOH.
Yeah,
get
3.
out of our
if
house.
it's only 2, you end up in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. .com. And they can get more information. Also, another website that might be of interest to you is 912projectidaho.com, who's responsible for bringing you here. And of course, our website is FYIdaho, which stands for your information, for your interest, idaho.com, FYIdaho.com. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
I'm Elizabeth Allan Hodge. The program is FYIdaho.